I got fed up with all the headlines, sick of reading about the stocks, tired of reading about weddings that were headed for the rocks. The funny page and the accidents no longer brought me joy. So I flipped the page and I decided I would kill my paper boy. I was sick of him collecting at 8:30 in the morn. Hated his puny, goony friends and his aggravating horn. I hated him yell and read all about it like a buzzing bee. So I wheeled him off the Mystic Bridge into the Mystic Sea. There's another newsboy missing, another newsboy freezing dead, another newsboy peddling papers in the lonely riverbed, another newsboy chasing pollywogs, goldfish in his shoes. Pretty soon there'll be no paper boys to bring the tragic news. So I called up 6 or 7 friends that agreed with all I said. And before I hung the phone up, there was 6 more newsboys dead. And before too long, there were paper boys missing in every state, as the Newsboy Slayings swept the land like a paper that was late. Well, we picked them off at playgrounds, got them down at the paper yards. We scooped them off their bikes and got them trading baseball cards. We got 40 in Schenectady and 42 in Troy. As the evening headlines read, there's another vanished paper boy. There's another newsboy missing, another newsboy freezing dead, another newsboy peddling papers in the lonely riverbed, another newsboy chasing pollywogs, goldfish in his shoes. Pretty soon there'll be no paper boys to bring the tragic news. We got 50 by the ankles, we got 60 by the knees. Caught 'em hiding down in cellars, got 'em climbing up in trees. There was many a puzzled housewife in the very early dawn, finding another missing paper and another newsboy gone. Well, they found 100 newsboys tied up below a ridge, and 11 by their sneakers that were hanging from a bridge. They interviewed this newsboy they found inside a cage. He said, "You know, I cannot tell the headlines from the funny page. When these murders all blow over, me and my pals won't get the blues. So when the Newsboy Slayings have been solved, they won't even make the news. We'll just have a great big bike sale, lots of money, bags, and toys. Then we'll go chasing after Cub Scouts or them Forest Ranger boys. And there'll be another Cub Scout missing, another Cub Scout freezing dead, another Cub Scout doing good deeds in the lonely riverbed, another Cub Scout with his beanie cap tied to his Cub Scout shoes. Pretty soon there'll be no Cub Scouts left, there'll be no Forest Rangers left. Pretty soon there'll be no newsboys left to bring you the tragic, extra, extra. Read all about it, there's another newsboy dead." Hum a little tune 'cause it's dark and the room is cold. Make up some words to a story you've never told. Think of all that we could be and all our chances, but we can only see our lives through glances. Hum a little tune 'cause it's dark and the room is cold. I must confess, I've just run out of things to do. It's late, or I guess I'm just lost in the thought of you. Think of all that we could be and all our chances, but we can only see our lives through glances. I must confess, I've just run out of things to do. Your feet are cold, but the room, it's so nice and still.
Your feet are cold, but the room is so nice.
The moon tonight is gold, and there's ice on the windowsill.
Tonight is cold, and there's ice on the window.
Think of all that we could be, and all our chances, but we can only see our lives through glances. Your feet are cold, but the room, it's so nice and still.
Your feet are cold, but the room is so nice and still.
Hum a little tune 'cause it's dark and the room is must confess, I've just run out of things to do. Your feet are cold, but the room, it's so nice and still. Hey, move your butts, you patriots, hurry from your tombs. Do your jigs and comb your wigs, put on your pantaloons. Grab your pipes and muskets, pop your champagne corks. We're going round in that little town you used to call New York. How's another beer to Paul Revere, give Washington his quart. And the Novocaine to Thomas Paine, give Jefferson a snort. Keep Webster's knees from wobbling, keep Franklin drunk as hell as we take your hand across the land you used to love so well. Well, here's the vegan throughway. We'd appreciate no jokes. Close the window, Mr. Franklin. We forgot that you don't smoke. Sorry about the toll collectors in the air that smells like grease. Hey, never mind them sirens, it's only the police.
That's another beer, the Paul Revere, give Washington his quart. And the Novocaine, the Thomas Paine, give Jefferson a snort. Keep Webster's knees from wobbling, keep Franklin drunk as hell as we take your hand across the land we used to love so well.
Well, we're rolling into Philly, but don't expect a lot. Don't expect to give no speeches. You boys just might get shot. Sure, Americans, they're friendly. They'll love you in a jiff. But if they find you with them wigs on, they might throw you off a cliff.
Pass another beer, to Paul Revere, give Washington his quart.
And the Novocaine and Thomas Paine, give Jefferson a snort. Keep Webster's knees from wobbling, keep Franklin drunk as hell as we take your hand across the land we used to love so well. Well, we're rolling into the wilderness, though there ain't too much to show. We're sorry, Mr. Franklin, about Buffalo. There ain't been no raccoons since Daniel Boone, and I guess maybe you've heard that it's the seagull, not the eagle, it may be our nation's bird. Sorry about these crazy farmers, but that's kinda just the breaks. Don't giggle, Mr. Franklin, you boys had your mistakes. What about that old fool Nathan Hale and his execution gags? Hey, what about old Betsy Ross and all her goddamn flags? That's another beer, Paul Revere, give Washington his quart. And the Novocaine, the Thomas Paine, give Jefferson a snort. Keep Webster's knees from wobbling, keep Franklin drunk as hell as we keep your hand across the land you used to love so well. Well, we hate to quit, but hey, that's it. I hope you'll all come back. We're sorry, Mr. Franklin, about your heart attack, but don't make no obscene gestures. You'll only get the same. Just next time, bring old Aaron Burr and Patrick, what's his name? Well, we do regret you didn't get to take no photographs, but at least you got a few free drinks, lots of crazy laughs. So here's your drum and a pint of rum and a pretty little song. And don't forget, this is what you get for staying away so long. That's another beer, Paul Revere, give Washington his quart. And the Novocaine, the Thomas Paine, give Jefferson a snort. Keep Webster's knees from wobbling, keep Franklin drunk as hell as we take your hand across the land we used to love so well. That's another beer, Paul Revere, give Washington his quart. And the Novocaine, the Thomas Paine, give Jefferson a snort. Keep Webster's knees from wobbling, keep Franklin drunk as hell as we take your hand across the land we used to love so well. The darkest morning I've ever known was on a sunny day. The saddest song I've ever heard was the pretty one you played. The hardest thing I've ever done was an easy little life. And the longest thing I've ever heard was your little word goodbye. We'll forget all those dreams. We could never have planned. Sometimes dreams are just made of sand. You'll see that the past is just like a story that we could never really learn. You'll see that the only thing I'm needing now is the love you won't return. The darkest morning I've ever known was on a sunny day. The saddest song I've ever heard was the pretty one you played. The hardest thing I've ever done wasn't easy little life. And the longest thing I've ever heard was your little word goodbye. If you come home again, all the poems we'll learn well enough to recite are the ones that they've yet to write. You'll see that our love is like a morning bell that's waiting to be rung. You'll see that the greatest song we'll ever sing is the one we'd never sung. The darkest morning I've ever known is on a sunny day. The saddest song I've ever heard was the pretty one you played. The hardest thing I've ever done wasn't easy little life. And the longest thing I've ever heard was your little word goodbye. Goodbye. Mittens on little hands, tin wheels and pinwheels, rockets on rubber bands, sailboats on wheels, bicycles, popsicles, seasons turning, kite strings and bee stings, mud pies, bow ties and songs. Phone calls and parties, clothes that won't fit for too long. Little girls that suddenly look once again. This is how young boys turn to young men. Flying years and wedding tears, puppies and porches, card games and kids' names, vanishing old friends. Snow sleds and hay rides, seasons turning, golf carts and broken hearts, nights on the back porch alone. Old songs and so-longs as the children start lives of their own. Silver hairs and rocking chairs, a world turning cold. This is how young men turn into old. Old cigars and cookie jars, dusty pianos, Night socks and wood clocks ticking out the time. Sad news in church pews, seasons turning. Park chairs and solitaire, voices in the echoing halls. Memories lost in the holes of the cracked plaster walls. Black lapels and chapel bells, nephews that cry. This is how old men wither and die. Black lapels and chapel bells, nephews that cry. This is how old men wither and die. On the can, old Uncle Sam was giving me the ring. He said, what can you do for your country? I said, I can only dance and sing. He said, that'll lose fire, but here on time, be quiet as a mouse. Bring any interesting weapons you got lying around the house. Well, all I had was a water pistol and a couple plastic corks, a rusty, dusty pop gun and a couple popping corks, toy submarine and a jumping bean, a few tangled fishing nets, and 45 of them little loads for exploding cigarettes. Well, when I got to the battlefield, I was so scared I could scream. But instead I went to sleep in a dream, my all-time greatest dream. And in this dream it kinda seemed that the whole world was pretty sore. And all the soldiers came by boat and plane for the first Great Squirt Gun War. Well, the skies were pierced with plastic knives and bouncing jumping beans. We stole the baking soda from their plastic submarines. We surrounded them with mud pies and we yelped a mighty roar. And it was plain to see we were proud to be in the first Great Squirt Gun War. There were sailing paper planes and lots of little tricky pranks. There were popping guns, pea shooters, we sent out little wind-up tanks. We started hurling softball eggs and squirted their platoons, while our aircraft bombed the enemy with water-filled balloons. Well, the Arabs clogged the faucet down at the Chinese water spout, and the Germans screamed, the Cubans with slingshots of sauerkraut. We ran looking for a few casualties just to keep track of the score. They were all fit as a fiddle, sitting right in the middle of the first Great Squirt Gun War. Well, the war had finally ended and we just all ran out of breath. Then we let go all the prisoners, we'd squirted half to death. Then we all shook hands, went back to our lands, didn't matter who lost or won, 'cause we all agreed for sure indeed we had a hell of a lot of good fun. When my closest friends now ask me just what we're fighting for, I tell them we were fighting for the right to go and fight in the next Great Squirt Gun War. I slipped into a phone booth crying, shaking at the knee. I made a long-distance phone call back to 1963. I was nervously anxious, for each second just to pass, trembling at my reflection in the glass. To my relief, the voice was Janet with her youthful, easy way. I said, I'm calling from the future, and this is pretty tough to say, but you're a damn doomed woman, and I've seen your dying bed. We've got to steer you from disaster and the road that lies ahead. She said, I see you've been off drinking and you've lost your head again. I said, the year is 2 and 70 and you are 12 and 10. But your breathing's all but ended and it's just a lonesome grave. How can I make you understand? It's your life I'm trying to save. And at that, the voices faded to a hollow all its own, and my screams were heard reverberating through the telephone. Then as my trembling ears heard echoes on that disconnected line, I fell forward to that bloodstained road suspended in my mind. I woke early to a somber sun inside my aching room. Then the sparrows through my window sang a melancholy tune. Then the morning news announced the word of Janet's death once more. The same sad news I had heard the night before. The same sad news I had heard the night before. Teach school in Nevada or set up a nice little farm in the Wichita wind. But I'll be in Bakersfield jumping a rail, running from those who would send me to jail. Ah, though my lady's tomorrows are as bright as the sun, seems an Indian's sorrows have only begun. You'll have a flower shop, maybe in Denver or down where the winding roads weave like the sea. But I'll be in Tucson where the sun going down, where all that I'll hear is this isn't your town. Ah, though my lady's tomorrows are as bright as the sun, seems an Indian's sorrows have only begun. You may go stay with your aunt in Wisconsin or dance through the fields where the wild horses run. But I'll be out making the same old mistake, hearing the words I'm not sure I can take. Ah, though my ladies, tomorrows are as bright as the sun. Seems an Indian's sorrows have only begun. Picket fences on cold days, English holly and byways, sunlight streaking through hallways, lightly calling me home. So the wind must breathe your name through the hollowness I'm chained to from loving you back when. Our friend, let's be friends again. Lavender willows and corduroys, Shilton whistles and turquoise, fence posts, finches and young boys, lightly calling me home. So the wind must breathe your name through the hollowness I'm chained to, loving you back when. Our friend, let's be friends again. Coral puddles and high heels, tilting carriages, spoke wheels, soft lace patterns on windshields, lightly calling me home. So the wind must breathe your name through the hollowness I'm chained to, loving you back when. Our friend, let's be friends again. So the wind must breathe your name through the hollowness I'm chained to, loving you back when. Our friend, let's be friends again. Friend, let's be friends again. Black Lagoon, Alabama, Saskatoon, she'd probably try to write me, but I just can't read too well. Honolulu, Amarillo, Kalamazoo, Tylerville, she'd probably try to call me, my hearing shattered hell. And I'm not really sure quite where to start, just looking for a sweetheart. She'd be no use to anyone, this crazy fool right here. She might be calling herself Rosalie, Josephine, or Emily. Never really got to know her by any other name but dear. Jambalaya, Pasadena, Buzzard Thought, Adeline, I'd probably try to catch her, but I've got a broken knee. Tallahassee, Alabama, Underpass, Louisiana, she'd probably mail some postcards, but she knows that I can't see. And I'm not really sure quite where to start, just looking for a sweetheart. She'd be no use to anyone, this crazy fool right here. She might be calling herself Rosalie, Josephine, or Emily. Never really got to know her by any other name but dear. Chicopee, Yellowstone, Tennessee, Arizona, she'd probably ask me dancing, but she knows that I can't walk. Oklahoma, Birmingham, San Antonio, Texarkana, she come by for conversation, but she knows that I don't talk. And I'm not really sure quite where to start, just looking for a sweetheart. She'd be no use to anyone, this crazy fool right here. She might be calling herself Rosalie, Josephine, or Emily. Never really got to know her by any other name but Maybe the moonlight could be keeping us together for a little while. All those pretty songs that hang up in the sky, they never have to die if you show a little smile. 'Cause you know there's a dream that I keep feeling, I think it could be coming true. But am I giving or am I stealing? 'Cause it's like being you, just seeing you. Must it seem strange to think I knew you unlike anybody else? 'Cause the more that I look through you, the more I see myself. And there's these feelings I guess I gotta be controlling. Guess I gotta see that love cannot be stolen. Rhythm as it's tapping out our little tune will make it all seem like our footsteps are in time and our words are all in rhyme, at least for another afternoon. And with just the part of you that's showing, I see a world I never knew. There's just no way I can help knowing it's like being here to see you. Must it seem strange to think I knew you unlike anybody else? 'Cause the more that I look through you, the more I see myself. And there's these feelings I guess I gotta be controlling. Guess I gotta see that love cannot be stolen. What if we're mistaken in our crazy old beliefs? With everything that I've been taking, I'd be feeling like a thief. But I bet that someday on some beach we'll both be strolling, never thinking about when love had to be stolen. Never thinking about when love had to be stolen. I got the Miller, Fillmore, Artist Gilmore, Walter Raleigh, Salvador Dali, Madame Curie, Arthur Murray, Cain and Abel, Betty Grable, Lisa Farrell, Clarence Darrow, Tuscaloosa, John Philip Sousa Blues. Don't you hate it when you're down at the supermart, when somebody's dog comes in and it takes a piss? Don't you hate it when little old ladies fart? Yeah, fart. They try to hide by giving you a kiss. Well, it gives me the Willie Cologne, Basil Rathbone, Baby Huey, Thomas E. Dewey, Nelson Riddle, Wyatt Tittle, Maureen O'Hara, In Ferrera, Rip Van Winkle, Henry Finkel, Tuscaloosa, John Phillips, the blues. Man, I hate it when I really wanna go, when this girl, she says we're already gone too far. Man, I hate it when I'm down at the drive-in show, wishing I was in a different car. And they give me the Silas Marner, Jimmy Garner, Charlie Lindbergh, Molly Goldberg, Graham McNally, William Kelly, Tony Rocco, Dr. Mucko, Harry Houdini, Mussolini, Tuscaloosa, John Phillips is the blues. Well, some old ladies' eyes go blind as bats, and they hop around when they clip their little lids. Then they start handing nickels to their cats, handing out cat friskies to the kids. And they give me the David Jones Locker, David Crocker, Barney Rubble, Carlton Hubble, Ted Hopkins, Opie Bopper, Terry Carey, Commodore Perry, Mitchell Miller, Bullfrog Killer, Tuscaloosa, John Phillips is the blues. Don't you get the Elsie Borden, Old Flash Gordon, Bud and Clipper, Jack the Ripper, Wendell Corey, Peter Lorre, Vinny Van Gogh, Quasimodo, Tyrone Power, Eisenhower, Cutthroat Color, David Butler, Suzanne Charney, Arthur Carney, Sancho Panza, Mario Lanza, Forrest Pickett, Jiminy Cricket, Tuscaloosa, John Phillips, Sisters Blues. Turn to the stories we knew well. Guess they're the ones I'll always tell. Turn to the songs from the sad old hill. Guess they're the songs I'm singing still. Turn the page once more. Make believe that there's a reason to get up off the floor and think how I got it so hard from behind. Can it really be another year? You know it kind of feels like you're still here. And when a few more years have come along, I might begin to believe you're really gone. And when summer turns to fall, sometimes lonesome as I kinda lean my head against the wall. If I close my eyes, I sometimes kinda see the one you never had the chance to believe. Turn to the friends you used to know. They were like leaves that come and go. Turn to the memories all around. They feel like the rain that's rolling down. Turn the page once more. Make believe that there's a reason to get up off the floor and think how I got it so hard from behind. Can it really be another year? You know it kinda feels like you're still here. And when a few more years have come along, might begin to believe you're really gone. And when summer turns to fall, sometimes lonesome as I kinda lean my head against the wall. If I close my eyes, I sometimes kinda see the one you never had the chance to be.